Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the properties related to fonts. Like today we are going to discuss CSS font properties. Okay. So here are the next properties. The first property is font family property. The first property is font family property. So how we are going to use this? The font family property specifies the font for the element, like with which font it will display on the browser. It displays by the font family property. The font family property can hold several font names as a fallback system. For example, you can define 2, 3 values for the font family. For example, if first family is not available on the system, it would look for the second family. And if second family is not available on the system, it would look for the third family. Although we generally use the basic font styles, okay, this would be applicable and where we use any different kind of the font families. Fine. If the browser doesn't support the first font, it tries the next font. Fine. So by this order, these things are going to take place. There are two types of the family names. Okay, generally first is the family name and second one is the generic family. What is the family name? The name of the family like Times, Courier, Ariel, etc. are the family names. What are the generic families? The name of the generic family like serif, sans serif, cursive, fantasy, monospace are the generic families. Now we'll discuss about them in detail. What are these families exactly? Okay, so basically the CSS in CSS there are two types of family names. First is the generic family. We have already discussed what are the generic families. A group of font families with a similar look like serif or monospace. Fine. The font family, what is font family? A specific font family like Times New Roman or Arial. Okay, specific font family will comes under this category. Under the generic family, the font families which belong to the same category or same type will come under the single generic family. So how they are going to take place? For example, here under the table we have the headings like generic family, font family and the description. Fine. So first of all we have the generic family serif. Under the serif we have two font families which is Times New Roman and Georgia's. You can see that almost their font structure looks like similar. Okay, although they looks like they belong to the same category. That's why they come under the same generic family. Now what is the you can see in the description, serif fonts have small lines at the ends of some characters. Like at the end of some characters, they have small lines. That is the identification of the serif font style. Okay, you can see if we'll talk about the T, you can see the structure of the T is like this. Okay, the small edges are available, like small lines are available at the edges of T. Okay, you can notice this. Okay, these kind of things are available. These kind of small lines are available at the edge of the T, the edge of N, the edges of R. Okay, the edges of G. You can notice this. Okay, in here you can see there are, when we talk about the sans serif. Okay, this sans serif here are the like normal font style. Like the examples are Arial and Verdana. The sense means without these fonts do not without lines, or these fonts do not have the lines at the end of the character. You can see these are the normal characters. There are no base lines. Fine. So next we have the monospace. What is the monospace in this generic family? You'll notice that every character has the equal space, okay, equal width. If you'll notice here, the I character holds less space than the A character or R character or L character. But here you can notice every character occupies the same width. Okay, so all the monospace characters have the same width. So that is the identification of monospace generic family. I hope this is clear with everyone. Okay. Now we'll see its example. Okay, example, in the example you can see we have defined h1 tag. Okay, under the h1 tag we have defined the font family property here. First of all, we writing font family Times New Roman. Okay, then I define Times, then I have written serif, that is, I have written the name of the generic family here. Okay, so in the next tag, for the h2 tag, I have defined font family as Arial, Helvetica and sans serif at the end of the this property. Fine, then I have put semicolon. So if you'll notice here, it will, this family will have baselines at each letter, and this font family, generic family or font family, do not have any baselines or any another line. So we will do the practical of the same. We'll open one notepad file here. Okay, so here we supposed to write some code. First of all, we'll start from the HTML. Then under the HTML we have head tag. Then we have body tag. Under the body tag, I am defining two tags. This is heading 1, and then I'm going to define the H2 tag. You can define any tag. This is heading 2 tag, H2. Okay, I'm saving this file with the name of font1.html in my folder, which is on the desktop, HTML files. Okay, so now I supposed to open this file. First of all, here is my file, font1. You can see this is the default output for the text. Okay, now we wanted to apply the given properties. Okay, so I wanted to apply those properties here under the head section. So how we can apply these properties under the head section? I wanted to apply the properties for h1 tag. So here I'll apply font family hyphen family. I'll write here Times New Roman. Then I put Times. Then I'll write generic family name serif. Okay, then I'll write the properties for h2 tag. Here I will write font family, Arial, Helvetica, sans serif. Fine, like this I am saving it. Now we are going to refresh our web page. You can see, sorry, I skipped to the style tag here. Okay, make sure you will define these properties under the style tag, because otherwise it will consider it as the normal text for the browser. Okay, so I am saving it and refreshed it. You can see the difference. This here, that particular style has been applied on both of the lines. Okay, now we'll do, if you, for example, if you wanted to change the font families, how you will get to know which font family you wanted to apply? You will click on the here under the form on the format menu, and then you will click on font. Here you will find different font styles are present here. Which font styles you find is suitable, you wanted to use, you can use that particular font style, for example, we wanted to use this particular style. You can select on this, you can copy this from here, you can copy this style from this style name from here, cross it and put it there where you wanted to use that style. I wanted to use the style Joker man here. Okay, so I'm saving it, I'm refreshing it. Here you can see the first style is available on the system, that's why it is applied on my text. I hope this is clear. Okay, after this, what will happen? For example, I have done some mistake in this particular name. So what will happen? It will automatically switch to the second font style. So you can see it will automatically switch to the second font style. Fine. So this way you can write whatever the font family you wanted to define, you can define here. Fine. After this, we are going to study the next slide. Next property is the font style property. Next property is the font style property. A font can be displayed in a different style such as italic, such as normal. Two values could be there. Three values could be there for this property. One property is normal, which is by default. If you will not assign this property, by default it will be shown as the normal text. Second is the italic property. Third is the oblique property. Now, what is the difference between the italic and the oblique property? The italic forms are generally cursive in nature. They are cursive in nature, while oblique faces are typically sloped version of the regular face. They are the sloped version of the regular face. Example is, if you wanted to apply the font style property on H1, for example, then you will write H1, curly bracket start, you will define the property name here, colon, here you will write value for that particular property. For font style, you want the value to be oblique. Then on the another tag, I am defining the italic value for the font style property because I wanted to see it in italic form. Okay, so this way you can apply this. If you now will do the practical of the same. Okay, how you are going to do this on the HTML page? What you will do is here, for example, here I was using Times New Roman. Fine. So here what I am using is font style is italic. Fine. Here I am using font style is oblique. I'm saving it. I'm refreshing my web page. You can see the effect. This is the output for the italic. This is the output for the oblique. You can see the italic has some cursive outline. Okay, and these are simple sloped text. The oblique. Okay, so that is the only difference. Okay. So next property we do have is the font variant property. Fonts can have two variants, which could be normal or the small caps. Normal is by default whatever is displayed on the screen, that is the normal value. That is the output of the normal. If you wanted to see the things in small caps, you can use it like this. You will define the name of the selector, then you will define this property, font variant property, and then you will assign the property value as a small cap. So this will show your text in small caps. Let's apply this property. Fine. So here what you can do is, here under this I am applying the font variant property, small caps. I'm saving it and I'm refreshing my web page. You can see this is the output for the small caps. So the text will be displayed like this when you set the font variant property as a small caps. I hope this is clear to everyone. Thank you so much. This is the session.